All right. 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. 1 2 1 2. All right. So last night I've been out of the mix for a while. I haven't really been commenting on a lot. Like there's been this whole Nolan Wells stuff going on, and there was the big Jabari uh Reggie debate that happened. And what else is going on? Oh, the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant debacle stuff. I've been following that, which is really, really kind of weird. Um, because that's not really my lane. But it's been coming across my feed and I've been kind of into it and interested in seeing reactions to it, which is I'm learning a lot in reference to that. But I'm making this video because, I've been getting up on Sonetta TV the last couple of days, and each time I make an appearance on that show, there's a particular brother that gets on, brother Ankh, right? And then every time we've engaged with each other, we've had issues. There hasn't been, I don't think we've had one single instance where we've been able to talk to each other and not have controversy. So that's just the way that goes, right? But last night, I was up on the Rhetoric Frontier, right? And we were talking about me and Genesis, Genesis and I, we were talking about Ifa for a moment, right? Then Sonetta jumps in and this has a conversation talking about something, right? And then Ankh comes on board and he derails the whole conversation, right? Which is kind of what he does. Like everything that we all have to be talking about has to revolve around his interest and his entrance into the conversation, which is disturbing. So, so he's talking and he's trying to defend Reggie, saying that Reggie's sources was correct, right? And so he's up here presenting a paper. He's presenting a paper and everybody's looking at it because everybody's looking at it. I think I just made the statement that the issue that I had with Reggie's presentation was what he considered sources, right? And it was that table that he had. I took screenshots, but I was on my phone at the time, so I couldn't bring it up as to back up my statements that I was talking about, right? So so when Ankh was presenting what he was talking about, he had this whole paper and he was going through the paper. And then my issue with Reggie in his presentation was that table did was not sourced correctly. Has somebody who's written papers, somebody who writes, you understand how to source something, right? It's reference, author, page number, so on and so forth, right? That's basic. That's English 086, right? If you in school, right? That should be well known. You're gonna get docked on your presentation, you're gonna get docked on your assignment, and if you turn it in, you're gonna quickly learn how to do a correct paper presentation, whatever it is, if you plan on graduating that institution, right? So when I was looking at Reggie's presentation, that was one of the first things I noticed about his sources versus what Jabari had in his source, which was sourced correctly, sourced normally, not even correctly. I'm not even gonna say correctly. It was sourced like it is normally sourced in a Sonetta production, right? And so it had me thinking, and my problem was I was taking screenshots of a video. It wasn't really clear, right? My screenshots are clear. So I had to send one of them to Chat GPT to kind of clear it up so I can get a better image, right? And so I'm just gonna do this real quick. Compare what was compare what Onk showed, right? So this, hopefully you can see my screen. This is what Ankh showed us last night, right? Let me see here. And when you're looking at it, you can see it's got the source, the scholar, the columns here, literal gloss of Neter, Neteru, the notes, and the citation. This is a correct citation. I would have had no problem with Reggie's presentation if this was done like this, because I could look it up if I'm curious, so on and so forth, right? So Ankh is up there wiling out, trying to defend Reggie because that's his boy or whatever. I get it, right? But what's happening now is the scamming is coming into play, right? Trying to scam people uh about who won the debate, how they performed in the debate, which is wild. That's wild. That means that off the rip now, you are showing that you are dishonest and you will lie, cheat, and steal to prove a point. And that point being wrong, but you will lie to make it right. You will lie, you will manipulate sources to try to make it right, and then come back. Luckily, somebody, because I'm looking at it like, man, did I miss something? Because I have this thing where I'm questioning, do I really know what I know, right? And that's kind of the way it goes, right? So I'm looking at, I'm like, dang, I must have missed that, right? I must have not had the correct analysis. I must have like jumped to conclusions too fast, too soon, too early, right? So, okay. But lo and behold, that's not when I go back into my notes and then I went to ChatGPT to clean it up. This is what I got, right? This is what I saw. Case argument, summary, key source. That's completely different than what Ankh presented last night. 100% different than what Ankh presented last night. So, this is what I had a problem with. Because when I saw this table, I'm like, well, I could just write anything and then say it came from here. And there's no way to prove, disprove, whatever, what's going on. This is what I had a problem with. And this is why I was giving Jabari the win, because he sourced correctly, you know. And so, and then look at the commentary that he has here. He put his whole argument in the summary and then just said key sources. That's incorrect. And he knew it was incorrect. That's why he went back and changed it. And I don't know if he sent Ankh there or what, but then Ankh comes on with this false, redone paper and presents that paper as if though that was the paper. It's a good thing that Kim Netter caught that, because that's why Ankh ran. That's crazy. That man is dishonest, and at this moment, unless he can retract the statements and say that he was wrong, he is not to be trusted in any of his conversations. Because he will yell, scream, holler, whine, moan, cry. I'm doing everything but calling him the female dog to bully the conversation. So you're not learning anything from this dude. This dude is a liar. This dude is a manipulator. That's crazy. How are you going to do that? Right? Unless you don't pay attention. Now, if you did not pay attention to the presentation and you didn't know that Reggie didn't put the correct source material in his first presentation, that's an honest mistake on your part. And you just learned a lesson. All right.